Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing rather marvelously well. I'm sitting here in actually sunny England, and I'm going to talk to my very good friend, Miss Piper Payne, who is sitting in, I presume it's sunny Nashville, yes?
It's pretty sunny today, actually. Yeah.
You have done so many millions, gazillions of things since I last spoke to you on camera. You've set up your own plant. You've developed an online mastering software. Should we start talking about this incredible plant you've got?
Sure. Yeah. We're here at Physical Music Products. This is my office. I sit in the kitchen next to the bathrooms because we ran out of office space because we have so many raw materials and things that we have to keep out of the warehouse. But and wonderful people that are now part of the team. So my desk has been relegated to next to the bathrooms, like any true boss. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's been an entire lifetime since we spoke, Warren, and it's only been a few years. But yeah, since we were last together, I'm still mastering full time. Developed the Waves Online mastering system, and I've got my vinyl record pressing plant here. So we've been pressing records here at Physical Music Products, just south of Nashville, Tennessee. We've been here pressing for just about 2.5 years. And it took about 1.5 years to build the facility out. Yeah, it's been a minute. I know we've shipped over 1 million records since we opened, so it's pretty cool. And some of the things that are wonderful about us and our company is that we work with any type of project of any, from anyone of any size on any deadline. We're still the fastest plant in the country. Our standard turn time is 5 to 7 weeks of any record project below 5,000 units. And we've worked with everyone, like literally everyone. And when I go out, I'll show you some of the cool titles and folks that we've been able to work with over the last couple of years. But we've still got a lot to do, and we just went through technically expansion number 2, because expansion number 1 was just getting one press online and being able to press a good record. We then got 3 presses total online, and then started doing 7 inches through the help of my new business partner, Josh Thomas, who's an amazing, great friend of all of ours. We have been able to acquire and now commingle all of the assets and business with another existing plant from up in New York. So we just went through expansion number 2 and got 3 more presses online and 2 more coming online very shortly here. So the cool thing is that we actually don't work with any packaging brokers, any lacquer brokers or anything. We do everything direct with our vendors. And so there's no middlemen, no timeline issues, no communication issues for the most part. So as long as an artist comes to us with an idea of what they want to make and some songs that they've recorded, we can help them from that inception of the music all the way to packing and fulfillment and even distributing to their fans. I'm very proud of that. And we do it with a very small team of dedicated people that, are just amazing and very, very good at what they do. It's Thursday at just about 2 p.m. here. So we're almost at the end of our production week. So the place looks like a total wreck. But it's really neat to see. If you've never seen a record get pressed before, it's kind of neat to watch. So, yes, here I am, and I'm going to take you on a little tour of Physical Music Products in the offices, and here I go straight through here. Let's go. It's very loud. So here at PMP, we produce records for all kinds of folks, from small independent artists that have never made a record before, all the way up to, full-on label-backed legacy artists, and we make them from a couple records to a couple tens of thousands of records every day. So what you're seeing right now is an area that we just finished expanding. We've got our SMT presses on this side and our Hamilton presses down here. And actually where I'm standing right now is going to become 2 more record presses that are right there, just about to be staged. So that'll bring us up to 8 presses. We've got the 2 automatic LPs on the end, automatic 7-inch right there. We have a manual 7-inch that actually Franken pressed together, which is kind of fun. And then the 2 Hamilton automatics that we can turn into manuals on the end to make these amazing splatter records, and half and halves, and
even one day maybe picture discs. So this is Colby Gustafson, mastering engineer. There he is down there. Colby is making the splatter records out of an opaque red base with a black splatter. And what comes off is this. It's flash. It's the trimming of the record. So what we do is any rejected records, we actually pull them, we pull the paper out of the center and we grind it up into making new records. So this is the compound that we use. It goes up into the hopper, then it comes down through an auger, through a heated barrel right here. Then it comes out, and actually it looks a little like toothpaste when it comes out. This is hardened, obviously, it's cold and hardened. Then we're gonna make it's called a biscuit, and we're going to preform that record. Then when it comes forward, the record that we were just pressing just now, which is happening right in there, that press will hold on to the flash in the grippers, see it, and bring forward a new biscuit for Colby to press. So Colby's going to grab that biscuit out and he's going to press it into the black warmed up vinyl right there. Meanwhile, the press, the controls of the press are heating. We've got valves that are delivering steam to the molds. The molds then have the stamper, which has the audio affixed to it. And then we're gonna press and squeeze that record. And we have now trimming off the excess flash off this record here. Like I told you, it goes down into a bin right there. And then we drop the other record on the other side of the stack. The molds are cooling with about 180 gallons per minute of cooling water going through this water header up above me. And there's a steam header as well, and condensate return that's taking all the steam back to the boiler. And now Colby is going to make another record. And he's going to go around. He's going to inspect the record that he just pressed. There it is. You want to show us, Cole? Look at that. Made a record. Now we're doing it over and over and over again, and we stack them up, we inspect them, we sleeve them, and we grind up the ones that don't pass muster, and then we pack and ship. And there's our little banner back there. Then we have an automatic shrink wrap line over here, jacketing over here. All of our color compound is all stored over here for quick use. This is kind of fun. We've got just thousands and thousands of the dinked out centers of the records so that we can give these away to the label or the artist for posters or whatever they want, I guess. But it's kind of neat because every single one of these, all of them, in the boxes every day, they all stack up, and we know that they were used to make new records. Shipments getting ready to go out. There's a whole wall full of records that we have pressed. These are all things that, we deemed were not ship worthy. But they were still really pretty. So we put them on the wall. And we've got records on this wall from everybody from, Dilla to Slater Kinney to Waylon Jennings to Dolly Parton to DJ Muggs. We've got Leftover Salmon, Madame Gandhi, Robin Hitchcock, Ultramagnetic MCs, Analog Revolution, amazing label out of Georgia. We've got RZA. We've got tons and tons of amazing Nashville artists, Madlib, MF Doom, Victor Vaughn, an amazing organization called Notes for Notes that supports kids in recording studios here in Nashville, all kinds of my legacy mastering clients and everything in between. And it's an amazing group of folks here that make these records, but it's a really, really cool group of folks that trust us to make their records. And let's see what else. I've got a machine shop over here. We fix all of our own presses, and when things go down, we have to be able to make parts and fix them quickly because we can't rely on someone else to come in and save us. And one of the neat things we have here is just rooms and rooms full of record jackets. And the cool thing about record jackets, all on skids, all waiting here, means that they are future pressings that we're going to do and future enjoyment opportunities for the fans. And speaking of, we've got direct fulfillment over here just for fans. There's Violet. And I said earlier, I think that almost everybody that works here at Physical Music Products has at least a bachelor's in audio recording. Everyone here is really into the music, the quality, and they're all technically proficient in evaluating if the record is good enough to go, and good enough to get out to the fan who's going to enjoy it. So just thank you for your time and attention. Thanks for having us on Produce Like a Pro. And we are still have a lot to do, but we've shipped millions of records out of this place at this point in the last couple years, and many, many more to come.
So, Piper, tell me all about this rather wonderful system that you've developed with Waves, the online mastering service.
I started this thing with Waves 7 years ago. It took 7 years. Started out with Mike Freitas giving me a call and saying, hey, we're considering making a set of tools for mastering engineers, and you're a Waves artist. We'd love to do this with you. I was like, okay, that's amazing. What an amazing opportunity. He and I just realized that we were both on the same page about values, about what we wanted this, system to include. And a lot of it was just, how can we make the mastering engineer's life a little better? How can we make it a little easier? And that's really where it started. So it was like, at the time though, you also have to consider the year that this was going on. So basically we ended up having no end of this massive list that were pain points for mastering engineers. And then we realized, okay, it's not just mastering engineers that are having these troubles. It's all types of engineers from every skill level, every production level. They all need to get their finished master out. And sometimes they're not going to hire a mastering engineer to do this. So how can we then support the industry a little bit more holistically? And so it kind of morphed from like a set of very discrete tools for mastering engineers to some tools that anyone could use to help get their song out there into the world in the best presentation possible. Over the course of several years, we started analyzing my masters. We analyzed the songs that they were made from. We spoke with everyone from, artists, producers, engineers, other mastering engineers, software developers, all of it. And we basically created this, like, if we could just make it do this, then we have something that would actually be sold, would actually be used, would be something that would be very helpful to the music community as a whole. And the answer we kept getting was, well, I love so-and-so, I love the ease of, or I love the cost of, or I love how quick this one service works, but it doesn't sound very good. And so we kept going back to that of like, okay, if we're going to make a set of tools for release, we need to make something that will help enhance the sound and, create a master that's ready to go. And that eventually became the Waves online mastering system. So we started out as just like a standalone software, a little plugin that would live on the master bus. And then that became a standalone client software on the computer. And then that was like, oh gosh, now we can do stuff in the cloud. Okay, cool. Maybe this is a hosted, online platform. And then we got access to, we built databases of my masters. We had, we basically started using neural networks. We started, employing some basic tools to analyze and break apart the song into chord progression, key, tempo, instrumentation, and then compared that to, my database of masters, and then decided essentially how to create the best sounding master we could with those inputs. And so that is what eventually became the Waves online mastering system. And we're super proud of it.
We're going to do some tests anyway.
Good.
We're going to feed it all genres you can think of.
And let me know. I mean, I heard about this and I'm very excited about it. And this is something that, a very large group of people worked for many, many years on. And I'm so proud to have been the little engine of, no, this isn't right. No, this isn't right. No, that's not right. Okay, maybe we're on the right track here. Okay, wow, this is actually taking shape. Okay, wow, with our first build of this automatic system, we blew every available service out of the water in terms of sound quality and technical correctness. And now we're beating them consistently. There were times that it didn't sound quite as good as other services. There were times that we broke it. There were times that we tried to implement a new process that we didn't think, was going to be a problem, and then turned out to be a problem. And so it took a lot of years, and it took an entire, dedicated team of people to get this done with me. And I'm like, just, again, so proud. And, there's lots of videos and stuff on the internet. You can watch me talking about all of it. But at the end of the day, it is a system based on the sound of my system, my masters, tuned to what I believe a good sounding master is. And I think it's very easy to use, and I'm very proud of it.
I wanted to go back to when you first started talking about going to different engineers and mixers and asking them what they wanted, what they considered great masters to be. What were the correlations? What were the sort of things that everybody came up with beyond making it louder?
Obviously it was, does it feel loud and big and punchy and, like it belongs on the radio? That's always the end of the day. Like, is it ready for prime time? If it sounds like whatever that is, then cool. And if not, sure. But the thing that was so amazing to me was that no one could really agree on what made a great master. Everyone had a different opinion. Everyone. And we asked tons and tons of people. We had a special focus group inside of Waves, and we had, I had lots of people, checking it out through the course of it for every single build. And everyone came back with a different answer. I'd provide them with 4 just blind tests. Which of these do you think is ready for prime time? And the one I thought would be picked, that wasn't always the one. And, people liked things for different reasons. And so I was always going back to the same thing I do as a mastering engineer every day, asking why, asking what it is that people like about this thing, using it as a learning opportunity, and then using that, of course, to train the software. But it's funny that you said what makes a great master, because that was literally what our little database was called, was great masters. It could be, some people really loved brightness. Some people really loved something that was more true to the mix. Some people really loved something that was just face meltingly loud. And, of course, we were training it in all different genres. It was not something specific that I could point to and be like, yeah, that's the thing. But, vocals, bass level, intelligibility, spaciousness, something that, that was not departing so far from the mix, ended up being the thing that we all loved the most about what was coming out.
Do you feel like for very diverse genres, there is some crossover points, or can it be in some genres, they just want loud and slamming, or the opposite?
And that is the reason why there are a few different versions of the algorithm built into the system. So depending on what it needs, we will always give, what's considered precise, or it was originally called balanced, but what's considered precise is what we think is the most balanced sound. As you're just a person coming in off the street, you say, Piper, here, master my song, and this is what I'm going to give you as what I think is the most technically correct, ready for release, ready to go. There are, of course, a couple different ways to approach this. And so if I was ever, presented with something that has, more of a natural dynamic to it, maybe more acoustic instruments, maybe just guitar and vocal or something, then the system is going to create something that's a little more toward the natural side. So, but then you can also, you also have options of something that's more natural or more enhanced or hyped, kind of poppy sound.
So how does it work? Treat me like an idiot, because I am.
No.
Is it giving you options that you choose from, or is it giving you, finished results, or is it giving you, I suppose, presets, for want of a better term, of what kind of way you want to direct it towards?
Yeah. So the first time when you upload the song for the first time, and you say, master this song, unless you choose otherwise, it's going to present you with precise, balanced, middle of the road, great sounding master no matter what. And then you can ask it to essentially push the algorithm toward more natural treatment or more enhanced treatment. So basically you're presented with balanced, and then you say, I want it to be more natural, or I want it to be more modern or enhanced. And then of those choices, those 3 button choices, you also have the ability to make it feel more elevated or add a little bit of depth or both. Modern, enhanced, all buttons in is going to give you the most like, slam and pop, pop loud, all of it, while still having some boundaries around it so that it doesn't, you're still inside the fence of quality. And something that, would have like, a depth to it and maybe more of a natural feel might be more of like the sort of Nora Jones, more singer-songwriter or, acoustic performance kind of thing. But funny enough, metal sounds really good in the natural and depth to me. People would think that, if you're presented with a metal song to master, you're just going to, hit it really hard. But, I've done all kinds of tests with all different genres in here. And I find that, 85% of the time, balanced, precise setting is exactly what it needs. It doesn't need anything more, but it's there if you want it. We don't save any personal data, and none of the actual music is like, there or, security issues or anything like that, but we do save all your settings. So if you go back and you're like, you've downloaded this, you've mastered this song and you've downloaded the file and you've now taken it out to your car and you're like, I really like it. I just want more, whatever. You just have to pop back into the interface on the browser and you just, change it to elevated or back to natural or whatever. And you just hit it, hit master again and boom, you're ready to go again. So it's kind of neat. It's actually, built like some of the things that we wanted in the original ideas of this thing is like having a library and having the way to get back to that original master quickly. I mentioned neural networks early on because that was the first set of, like that type of tool, that type of programming, that type of thinking was the first time that, Waves had taken on a project like that, utilizing those types of tools. And yes, there are some AI systems going on under the hood, but really we only use it to analyze the song and sort of pull it apart. And then from there, we are making decisions on how to treat it. And everything is all basically a hot rodded set of Waves plugins. So it's kind of funny, like anyone could literally build this into their master chain. I think it'll take a long, long time for them to get it to sound as great as it does for every single song and genre. But that's the neat thing about this whole program is like we wanted it to be something that was very accessible to every type of engineer utilizing Waves plugins. It wasn't something that was supposed to be completely, someone in the cloud making decisions for you. It was really just here's some actual real world tools that we built and just made it accessible for everyone at a very low price point and quickly. So my assistant, Colby was instrumental in getting this off the ground with me as well. He did a lot of work in his own time and early on when he was as my mastering assistant. And so he's been around the project for a bunch of years. And it's funny because I could think about this, young kid just out of school, budding mastering engineer, wanting to start a mastering career. And I could see that he got it. He understood that this is a tool that's not meant to replace mastering engineers, that there's a place for human mastering engineers, there's a place for actual real analog processing, of course, in music. But it was really neat that he was mature enough to understand that this is a huge opportunity for even more music to get released out into the world and things that may never have seen the light of day because they couldn't afford to get it properly mastered. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to Colby Gustafson, who is my amazing mastering assistant who helped get this thing off the ground. So thanks, Colbs.
Piper, thank you ever so much. That was amazing. I'm really happy for you. You're one of the best people in our business. I don't know a person who doesn't absolutely love you and think you're awesome and ridiculously talented and clearly incredibly hardworking. So congratulations on all of this.
Thank you so much, Warren. I really appreciate it. And that means so much coming from you. I love you. I appreciate you.
Thanks ever so much. Thanks, everybody. Leave some comments and questions below. Of course, there will be links. You can go and test out the Waves online mastering service, but also you can go and check out Piper's record pressing plant, which is called
Physical Music Products. That's what we do. We make physical music products.
Products.
At PMP Vinyl on Instagram and physicalmusicproducts.com.
Thanks, everyone. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Adios. Goodbye.